Aldrich Pass, game number 1. We have Oxygen Esports, aka the Hardos, going up against Granit Gaming. Alright, time to party. Map number, again, best of 2 series. We are down to the 8 teams that fight it out in a round robin system now with best of 2 matches for a slot at the offline final in Paris, the main event for the Masters Clash. In total, we have 12,000 euros in prize money for the tournament. And we also have... of course, fourth, again, top 3 that qualify directly after the round robin is done, and there's a 4th team that's going to be determined by the remaining teams in here, so yeah. Either way, we got on Aldrich. It's actually surprising to me that we have this as a starting map, but as it seems, we have the map choice made by Oxygen. Now, they've been playing a lot of Sergeant Hammer lately, and on a big map, obviously. I'm not really arguing for Hammer necessarily right now as a reason for the map pick, but on a big map like this, you can also macro it out very hard against your opponent. There's a couple of things we could see here now. Anuburak has been played a lot when other teams were playing, especially, of course, Team Wah, because Masquerade really likes to cheese in on the objective a little bit. Spotting a couple of beetles, just keeping the grunts happy and busy, and then you can easily channel that. So we could see an Anuburak picked by either one of the teams here. Globals are also still up. Falstad, Dehaka, all available still. And they're definitely buying that time here, aren't they? Okay, there's Sylvanas for Quarknix. Yeah, already a lot of push power right from the side. Good first pick, always a good one. But what exactly is the red team now opening up with? Playing with nearly the full lineup today. There's an Uberak. So yeah, we get him as an early pick. So now you can try and cheese the prisoner camp a bit and get a lead. Makes it really annoying. Now, if you know that it's coming, you can of course always monitor where Uberak is. And the second you see him making a move for the camp, you have one hero guarding it, so to say. So the rest of the team plays a 4 versus 4 on the map for the duration. But yeah, that's always a pretty neat move. So yeah, kind of like that they go for Nubarak, but I would assume that Granit Gaming is countering that properly. So we get Urel for Wooby. Could have seen him play the Haka here for sure, but with a Whoopstar on the Space Goat, now that's obviously one of his best. At the same time, we got a Stukov for Smexy, and that is a lot of potential stuns that you have, well, silences that you have right now. Yeah, first of all, Stukov with a lurking arm, then on top of that, you got Sylvanas with a nice Wailing Arrow that you can YOLO out pretty easily. And time for the bans here. Maiev? That's actually not a bad one either. Maka has been playing quite a bit of Maiev, and if you have somebody that can tether any hero into a Stukov lurking arm, that always hurts. There's so many kill opportunities that you can set up with Maiev just in general, but if you have Stukov then too, yeah, that can definitely murder people very quickly. Also, if you just start it up and then she prevents them from escaping, that of course helps as well. But yeah, Breeze with the tank, that's also going to be an interesting one. Ain't easy being breezy. His Diablo is still up. Hammer finally getting banned against them. I like it. Hammer gets banned against Oxygen. That was about time. That was long overdue. They played Hammer in the last few playdays so much, and finally teams are saying like, alright, if you actually want this, you have to take it early. Now my camera is struggling today a little bit again with the power supply, as it seems. So that was something that I actually fixed, or thought it was fixed. And apparently I need to check the connection again. Lunara is in, we got Karazim as well. So already we got potential for stun into a 7-sided strike. Bambi together with that for a little bit of ranged poke now too. And the blue team with the double pick. Okay, let's go. What is Breeze gonna choose now? Could still plays Dibble. Muradin is also up. Muradin is another good one here. So yeah, stun. Stormbolt into Stukov. That would definitely help, but they go for ATC. This is going full old school on us here. And we get Greymane on top of that. So maybe even a switch between Quark and Maka, depending on how they want to run it here. But Breeze on ETC is always fun. That's always interesting. And the final pick for Nick. So are we going to get a bit of an X-Factor pick for him right now? He's obviously the wild card for the Hardos, for Team Oxygen. Aldrich Pass, map number 1 in the best of 2, and the final pick is Jaina. Nice! Burst damage again, okay. Gotta keep her alive, of course, so they gotta be careful with that. She's still a bit on the squishy side. even with her ice block, if you complete the baseline quest. But yeah, with that said and done, let's go everybody. Oxygen Esports against Granit Gaming, game number 1. Granit Gaming against Oxygen Esports. On the left side, in blue, we got Mako on Sylvanas, Whoopi on Urel, Breeze is playing ETC, Quacknix on Greymane, and we got Smexy on Stukov. Pretty awesome team, but of course they are going up against Team Oxygen Esports right now, who has a little bit more experience in playing Heroes of the Storm in the post-HGC era. A bit more training on those boys. Hazops on Lunara, we got Nick on Jaina, Yazu on Karazim, Bad Benny on Anubarak, and Copen is playing Hogger in the first game. That's definitely one of the problems, so to say, that Granit Gaming has a little bit. I mean, these guys have obviously been playing Heroes of the Storm for a long, long time, but most of that was before and during the times of HGC, and ever since then, teams like the Hardos definitely put in a lot more hours in Heroes of the Storm and is a little bit more up-to-date with all of this. But now that we're having Granit Gaming regularly playing, you can definitely tell that there's quite a bit of improvement coming, and the experience of the past when it comes to timings, rotation, and good coordination is of course still worth a lot for them. So on level 1, no prog rock this time, as Maka is slowly sliding towards the top. We have him here with a guitar hero, as you can already tell. And in the mid lane, still a bit of damage done as Quacknix in particular is rocking it on Greymane. Now, as the 1 minute mark approaches, we're going to see him make a move for the camp very quickly. And the interesting part is that they're actually a little bit late on this. So Hogger already starting the camp and pulling ahead here, whereas the blue team is just now making their move over towards the camp and doing the same thing here. One of the most important things to take every single time that it pops up on the map on Alterac Pass. Very, very strong and a menace in the mid lane. Anubarak, as explained during the draft, is going to be trying to every now and then sneak up towards the prisoner camp, and it's going to be on Breeze to mirror that a bit. And they did that actually in the past, so they had a couple of games lately where they went up against Anubarak players that tried the same thing, and they mirrored their movements very nicely to ensure that they're not falling behind on the objective. But we're definitely going to keep an eye on it regardless. Now, down to the bottom of the map, Urel is still making the plays against Hogger. So the two of them going toe-to-toe here in the middle. Still a bit of a push going on, and now that the red team's camp has been destroyed, there is a chance to get some structural damage in here, and they're already working on that quite nicely, even trying to make a play for Bad Benny, and Anubarak, oh, got a bit of a beating there, so down to 30% of his HP. They get some damage in, so they're starting to take one of the towers down. It's nothing too crazy, but it's some initial damage that they were at least able to get for now. Maka gets attacked, and Yazu, that's a bait, baby! But the kill! Sylvanas is dead. Yazu likely gonna die now too. But of course, it's still a trade between the two. So Maka was baiting them a bit, but he baited a bit too long, and that resulted in him being taken down. So, yeah, for now we got one kill, more kill. We have the camps popping up in 15 seconds. Each team on level 4, and down to the bottom of the map we are still looking at Hazu trying to poke some of the structures down with success, I might add. So getting one of the towers to 50% HP as we are looking for the camps again, and the red team once more slightly faster. But Quacknix and his boys, they're getting this one regardless. So now with the camps up, question is Benny trying to sneak in? Breeze is already again watching, so he is double checking if anybody is making a move towards the camp and is starting to slow that down. So vision is everything here, and just him sitting at the side and making sure that he knows fully well what's going on is already worth a lot for them. Sylvanas escaping again, Hogger is up at the top, so we got a kill for a kill, but we don't have really any big moves yet, and there's exactly that move that we talked about, but Breeze is ready, and that's exactly what I've been mentioning. So Benny is trying, and he should, but as long as Breeze is keeping watch, he will not be able to get any progress for them. Level 7 talents are ready, so at some point the teams will focus a little bit more on the prisoner camp just in general. Usually that happens around the 7 level mark when they are locking in the additional talent. In this case, we actually got the Ice Flows here in for Jaina, and Nick is of course going to work with a lot of that CC during this entire game. But he also is a bit more on the squishy side, so if they get at any point a lock on him, especially with Greymane on the team, then they should be able to take him down. So it's always an interesting pick when you see Jaina. And honestly, I love it, because Jaina is one of those throwback heroes that back in the day was always wreaking havoc and just doing tons and tons of damage with Burst in particular. After a good stun, you get a nice combo with Jaina and you can really take a target down quickly. But she is still suffering from the fact that she doesn't have a lot of mobility tools that she can use. Blue team is already falling behind again on the camp, and I honestly don't like that. This is, as I highlighted earlier, one of the most important things that you need to consistently take here, and it is currently not happening. So while Sylvanas is busy on the camp, the red team is now making a move straight for the prisoner camp, and in the meantime the mid lane is getting attacked as well. So yeah, this is pretty annoying for them, because now Sylvanas is also dealing with that. Granit has taken over on the camp, and there is a lot of plays or aggression being made towards the prisoner camp. Now they're dealing with it well, but it also allows for the top lane to get pushed out by Hazu, and as you can tell, slowly and steadily, Team Oxygen Esports is starting to pull ahead in experience. They're nearly on level 10, and an early heroic ability for them would allow them to attack the first objective pretty aggressively. Now, blue team is catching up as best as they can. There's obviously a couple of waves that are traded back and forth continuously, but there's level 10 now, and it's a very, very small window, but Kharazim dying is of course not really a good start. They immediately try to engage into a battle and force the fight here as they hit level 10, attempting to utilize that small window, but that didn't work, especially since Kharazim died. Now Whoopi is pressuring Nick, and they even have an approach towards the prisoner camp as the red team is still waiting for Kharazim. So yeah, Kharazim is back on the map. They go for another camp, by the way, but I think the objective should at least initially start up now for them. And Nuburak missing the stun on Make here. Obviously didn't have a good angle for it, couldn't really move too far in, or that would have been the end of him. So now we have 2 kills to 1, and at least progression towards the first objective. Unlikely that they're gonna get it right now. Nice combo, and ETC just getting popped. Well coordinated and blown up within a second. That one was absolutely fantastic. And instantly the counterplay from Oxygen Esports as they are trying to unleash the Raiders on Granit Gaming. So both the teams now a little bit more aggressive with level 10 abilities. Big shove. Oh my god. Yasuo completely pushed out of the fight, but the battle isn't over yet. Quapnix gets body blocked. The Cocoon is out as they're focusing their attention on Smexy, and he's gonna fall. The Smex Master is down, and they're going for a follow-up kill on Greymane as they're taking Quapnix apart. So great pressure. The camp that they took earlier is already in the middle. Again, nice! The kill on Nick as they land the ult of Breeze. Yeah, Mosh Pit is in, but Breeze gets also taken. And Yasuo is again on the run as Maka is hoping for a counter kill that they're very likely not going to get. Mid lane, Fort has taken damage. This is really the power of the camp that I've highlighted a little bit earlier. And in addition to that, they now also have the Raiders going. So at this point, the Oxygen Esports is starting to quickly pull ahead here. They've done damage in the mid lane thanks to them continuously taking the camp and pulling ahead of Granit Gaming there. They did a lot of damage at the bottom of the map, but they also got most of their kills. And at the same time, they locked the objective in. So this is definitely them setting things up for a significant lead. In experience, maybe in talents, and they're going to try exactly that. So off we go. We already have at the bot lane a Fort that is severely damaged and likely gonna fall. They're getting Greymane at least involved here, but now there's a talent advantage for Oxygen Esports that will help them. And on top of that, yeah, the top lane is getting heavily attacked, but they're pushing in with 3 down here. This one is a goner, no chance of saving that. In the middle of the map, Mark is at least blowing the Raiders apart, so that helps a bit. But the fight continues. They get the kill on Bad Benny on the other hand, so they might also get Jaina, honestly. Depends on whether or not Breeze can get close enough for another slide. Curly doesn't seem like it. Mark is getting heavily aggressive on this one. 7-sided strike is still up, but not a problem for them. Top side, another fort has fallen, so that's now 2 forts destroyed with the first objective and a solid level lead for Oxygen Esports. So yeah, looking good for now, for sure. Now top side, I mean even the wall is taking damage. The gate is already gone, and that Raider did way more than I expected it to. And the camp is immediately taken again. Breeze pausing the game. Not quite sure what's going on for them. If anybody dropped, I actually don't really think so. Ooh, Quacknix apparently dropped. Okay. The duck is out. And let's hope that that's not going to be a bigger problem. So, yeah, I guess we're going to wait and see if he's going to come back quickly. Hopefully, not an issue that will cause any problems here for them. But, yeah, right now, still nearly even kills. 4 kills to 5. But let's see what they can do once the Quack is back to action.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
To the Spider Queen. Guys, unfortunately, map number 1 was abandoned. So apparently the problem is that the power went out in the entire block where Quacknix lives. So not only one house, one apartment or whatnot, but the entire block. And as you can imagine, that's not going to be solved within a couple of minutes. So they had to forfeit map number 1. Oxygen Esports, therefore, takes the lead. And Azerite was still there. Azerite obviously is part of the team, so he is the dedicated sub for them. And he's now playing with them, so not a problem. But really unlucky timing. If that would have happened just a couple minutes earlier, maybe even after the draft, Azerite could have jumped in right away and they could have played with him. But since we were already so far into the game with the first objective taken, a couple of forts being destroyed, you can't just remake the game there. It's way too late. So now we're heading into map number 2 there for Tomb of the Spider Queen is the map that has been chosen. And we have right away bans on the side lane, Hogger down, Blaze down, Junkrat also out, the poke that he had. I mean, Junkrat is honestly like one of those heroes where he's poked for so many different reasons. The continuous barrage of grenades that you have, especially when someone is trying to turn in, is of course absolutely annoying as hell. But the follow-up on any stun with his mine and trying to cause displacement there is also just fantastic. Having the trap set up, I mean, he is such a versatile hero, it's incredible. A lot of mobility too, which of course makes it very difficult to control him properly. Early Lunara pick. First pick Lunara here. But we also get a Chromie. If you can't get the Sergeant, you go for the Chrome Star. So, yeah. Urel and Brightwing. It's a real zoo over there. We got a deer, we got a fruit fly, and we got a goat. At this point, do we actually have a team that is a full zoo? We do, right? Greymane would be a wolf, so you had another one. Who do we have at the front line? Does a Nubarite really count as a cockroach? I think you could pretty much go for a zoo team. Alright, then we just need a zookeeper or something. Like, anyways, Maiev gets banned. Question is, of course, also what Nick is going to play again on this map. And there's the Carrigan ban. So, yeah, the question is still there. What is Nick going to play now that his Carrigan is banned? With Chromie already taken, makes it very, very unlikely that they're going to lock in Sergeant Hammer as well. We get Anduin though. Team Blondie, look at that. 3 Blondies already. Yeah, Anduin, Jojo, and Chromie. If they go for Jaina again, we could go for a full 5-man team, but nope, we get Copenhagen on the Hager. Yeah, he's definitely not blonde. Yeah, not even a little bit. Doesn't even have hair. So, yeah. Anyways, for now, what do we get on the blue team? What is Breeze playing? I liked it. It's actually like, really a shame that the last game ended, because his ETC is always fun to watch, even if they don't win. It's just the plays that he's trying to make. And now we're seeing Tyrael, which I also like a lot, so don't get me wrong. Tracer together with that, that's awesome. Might switch it over to Lunara. But they go for Hammer. Damn, they go for Chromie and Hammer. Alright, fair enough. I mean, they go for massive range poke. Did not see that one coming. Once that Chromie was chosen, I was pretty sure that they would drop the Hammer for now, but apparently Nick is really morphing into a one-trick pony over here. It's Hammer time once again, everybody, so let's go. Tomb of the Spider Queen, map number 2 between Oxygen Esports and Granit Gaming. Granit Gaming against Oxygen Esports. On the left side of the map, we got Breeze on Tyrael. We have Macke on Tracer, so they swapped heroes as already expected. Smexy on Brightwing, Azerite on Lunara, again subbing in here for Quacknix, who dropped out of the series because of a power outage that they experienced. And we have Wooby on Urel. Over on the right side of the map, obviously, it's Hazo-Ops with Chromie. We got Bad Benny on Johanna. Nick is playing Sergeant Hammer. And we got Yasu on Anduin with Copenhagen on De Haga. Okay, so again, obviously, pretty important match between the two teams here as well. I mean, there's a lot of prize money on the line in this tournament series, the Masters Clash 2022 with 12,000 euros. Now, losing map number 1 is already a bit annoying for them, because the situation for Granit Gaming is a bit of a weird one, whereas we have the Hardos, Team Oxygen, already in the top 3. This is exactly where the blue team is trying to get, and them losing one map by default because one of their players disconnects is obviously a setback that they are not really going to enjoy here. If they can at least win one map, that would be great, but we'll see. For now, we got Breeze again with his Tyrael, so that's already guaranteeing at least some aggressive plays from the frontliner. Sergeant Hammer and Chromie, so both of the range damage dealers here that can really... I mean, there's nothing more annoying than if you're completely just sieged up on by your opponent and they have Hammer and Chromie, or even just one of the two, and they can bombard you from way too far away. Now, there's of course a couple of plays that can be made here to close the gap, especially with Tracer, but also with Urel trying to flank in once again, using their maze to push them back into the team and all of these things. If that's going to happen or not, that's a different question right now, but as it stands, we got the Zealous Glare on level 1. I would assume that Nick is going to follow through here with his own build for Sergeant Hammer again, following not really the standard that we're usually seeing there. But yeah, as things start up, we already have him up in the middle, trying to deal with the camp there too. Brightwing already dealing with him at least a little bit, going for the polymorph. And here comes De Haga. I was waiting for somebody to jump into the bush. Whoopi is already on the way, providing vision, of course, on top of that too. Breeze is already engaging. They're trying to go for the back, but they can't get access to either one of them. Even attempting to make a play for Anduin, and that didn't work out. So Brightwing is the first one to fall here in the game, and the siege continues. So already we're having the tower at the bottom on the mid lane here taken down. So one tower eliminated, and yeah, they will siege up heavily on that. Oxygen Esports, they're gonna play a bit of a protect the hammer strategy here. A lot of value being had. On level 4, as we've already talked about, Nick with his own touch to it, the regenerative biosteel here. I would honestly love if we would get... I mean, again, you got Anduin on the other side, so it makes it even less likely. But can you imagine for just a moment if you had Tyrael just trying to take advantage of the level 4 choice that we're seeing from Nick here and just go into Judgment and they're just blowing it up time and time again? That would be pretty crazy. That would be absolutely insane. If they would do something like that, it would be insane fun. Then again, I don't really think it's going to be too successful for them. Now, you could, of course, try and jump in with Tyrael pretty deep and then follow up with Brightwing and go for a polymorph and really try and get that kill. But we also have on the other side the blinds from Jojo that could immediately come out. You still got to deal with Chromie somehow. There's the Haka. So we'll see how they're going to play this one out. But when it comes to gems, at least, we have a few more for Oxygen Esports. They got enough for a turn-in if they can get access to their top turn-in spot, for example, where Benny was trying to turn in the 27. Yeah, Azurite still poking this out slowly. But level 7 talents are up next, and so far there's only 16 gems that have been delivered from the red team. The blue team has even turned in less than that. But yep, next attack is slowly coming in, and you have so much that can really control and interrupt any attack. You have interrupts from Jojo, you have interrupts from I mean mainly Chromie, but there's of course a lot of ranged attacks available on abilities that can easily interrupt anyone on the blue team side that is trying to get the turn in. Level 7, so now Hammer really being online with the hover siege mode. We got at the bottom of the map Nick taking full advantage of this already. Yeah, marker down, and that is kill number 2 for Oxygen Esports. And they nearly got Lunara as well. So that is a fantastic kill, and also shutting Lunara down like this allows them to pressure on the turning points even further. Oxygen Esports, therefore, with the first Web Weaver wave. And Nick is already softening up those walls. So he's coming in very, very quickly and starting to take that one down. 8 on the board now for both teams. And yeah, the entire tower is gone. Anduin is sitting there at the side, making sure that he can easily save Sergeant Hammer when something's happening here. Yeah, he's obviously always going to be great in situations like this. Any kind of coordinated attack against a single target, Anduin is your worst enemy. Any kind of like stun chain, if you're really going to dive on one target, Anduin can ruin that play with just this trade, and after level 16 matters get worse. So I don't really mind that they're focusing him right now, trying to deal with Anduin before they take anybody else apart, but they're losing Tracer in the process, and that of course is not making things any easier for them. As one of the main damage dealers gone, Chromie and Hammer still bombarding the bot lane, and up at the top the Haka is already causing one fort to fall, so that's the first one gone. That is already fantastic value from the first objective. The one in the mid lane has also taken damage, and down here they are suffering even further. So things are definitely not looking good for Granit Gaming this early on in the game. Now what they really got to do, they go for the bubble. They go for the bubble on Anduin. Look at that, even more protection. Anduin, he goes for the word, the holy word, the word of salvation. Anduin, he has the best words. Everybody says so. Tremendous, tremendous. And they kill Tyrael too. Great word by Anduin. Alright, so they got a level 10 early, they get the kills, we get a couple of bubble plays, again the Napalm Strike as usual for him, Blessed Shield is in as well, but yeah, they're just completely getting demolished. Now we got level 10 finally also for the blue team, and that's the moment where they can try and fight back at least a little bit. Again, the blink heal for Brightwing. They're actually chasing the Haka a bit in the mid lane, he has 23 gems, but they're not going to get the kill here. Yeah, they don't. Yasuo doesn't even have to go for a straight here. Doesn't have to do anything. So, yeah. Down to the bottom of the map, they're taking the Siege Giants at the same time. Tyrael, by the way, has not made a choice yet. He has not made a choice up to this point. Now, again, I doubt that they're going to get a lot of value from Judgment. But do they get more from Sanctification? Because the problem with Judgment is really just Anduin. If you go for him, of course, then maybe you got a chance there. But if you don't deal with Anduin, then Judgment is something that is just going straight into the void because he's always going to pull the target out, or at least going to try. Now we got a kill against 4. Breeze is still threatening that he goes into Judgment, and they have a turn-in. So this is the moment when you have to repay them in kind a bit. And yeah, just do your thing. But top lane, we got Azurites. This is obviously the lane where the Web Weavers are going to get the least amount of damage done. Down at the bottom of the map, Wooby against Copenhagen. The main focus is the mid lane, but there's even the camp that they have. It doesn't look good for this particular objective. Web Weaver in the mid lane is very quickly taken down, and they go for Judgment. So here it is. They actually make the play. They're deciding that they are going to try. Now, there are, of course, as I already highlighted a bit earlier, a lot of tools that can be used against these Judgment plays. But if they can punish Sergeant Hammer for not picking the usual level 4, that would, of course, help. But, as I said, kind of unlikely. It depends highly on what the other heroes are doing, especially Anduin. If you can play around the cooldown a little bit on his trade, then maybe. But once level 16 is in, yeah. Anduin with a bubble, and well, that didn't really work. So Jojo is dead, there comes Judgment, and they go for Yasuo. And they're getting... No, they don't get the kill. There they go, finally. So this is actually not bad. They get the kill, they get 2 kills out of this. Nicely done, instant Judgment value. Look at that, they also take Sergeant Hammer down. It's a triple, baby. They get 3 kills, they tried for 4, but Chromie came in with the timeout. But I gotta say, pretty sexy plays here from Granit Gaming. They got those kills, they were able to take Johanna down, then focus on Anduin, followed up with another one against Sergeant Hammer. Brightwing with the final touches on that one. And now they have a chance to go for another turn. And so we have 2 turn-ins in a row for the blue team as they are trying to gain enough momentum to severely pull ahead here. And we'll see if they can pull that one off, but that was definitely a good start. Anduin definitely not getting value out of his ult. It was a little bit too late. Was obviously trying to save Johanna here, but couldn't. Still a bit of a lead for Oxygen Esports, but that's something that could change now with the next Web Weaver wave. And this one is definitely going to hit a little bit hard in the mid lane at least, because this time there is no Bruiser camp for the red team. Chromie already with their 16. Yeah, nice. Oh, beautiful follow-up with the Tong. And that's a kill on Breeze. Nice. Breeze goes down, and that's Tyrael gone, so no Judgment anymore. That takes a lot of the sting away from the attacks of Granit Gaming. Yeah, that's very, very unfortunate. But it was very well executed also from Oxygen Esports. Chromie trap into the Hackathon. Good follow-up on the damage. Now, in the mid lane, they defeat the Web Weavers quickly. Wooby's trying to buy as much time as possible for the remaining lanes to do some work here. But that was a great kill for the red team. Came at the perfect moment in time. Now, Marker has pushed the top lane out a little bit, but of course the issue is still that they didn't do any structural damage with this turn in, and now we have enough gems available for Oxygen Esports. Now, Tyrael is back to business, and they could try and make some plays here. Oh my god, Yasuo nearly taken down by Marker. Marker obviously putting the work in on Tracer. I mean, his Tracer is solid. He had some problems going up against Oxygen Esports early on, so he died already twice, I believe. But he's always supplying a lot of damage and is really threatening the backline. That's obviously the life of a Tracer. You have to go deep in situations like this. You are the one that has to risk quite a bit here. But Marke is towing the line as best he can, and he's set multiple kills up for them already. And these are the plays that you just gotta make when you're facing off against a tough opponent like this. Another drag, and he makes it out. But they gotta be careful that he's not being caught by Bad Benny now, who's attempting to move in from the top and flank against him. Level 16 Talons are in, entire level lead, and another kill against Tyrael. Oxygen Esports just playing some great coordinate, or executing great coordinated attacks here. And that leads now to Elite in experience, Elite in talents, and obviously Anduin with even more safety for the rest of the team, thanks to the fact that he now has his level 16 talent, the Glyph of Faith. So with that, he has a double pull available. It's great for Sergeant Hammer, and they decide that with the talent lead, they will now also move in for the top boss, take that one, and try to even go for the first keep here. A little bit of poke in the mid lane, by the way, would easily destroy that fort. Seems like they're willing to take that fight. This is a bit of a Hail Mary move right now, and it's one of the few things that they can do. They might even abandon the boss play in completely. Yeah, Urel still alive. Alright, had to go for the ult. Boss unlikely to be taken at this point, unless they're really making a move for it. And yes, they're starting to collapse onto it regardless. There's the play. Potentially everybody on the point. Oh, Sanctification would be so good right now. Nothing they can use. 3 heroes down. Boom. Everybody dead and dying. 4 eliminated. And the boss is taken. Web Weavers are already touching ground. The fort in the mid lane has just been destroyed. And this is brutal. Here's the play once again. I mean, everybody just collapsed on this. And of course, you have then Sergeant Hammer with tons of damage. On top of that, you have the Napalm, you have Chromie with one hit after another. The keep now at the top is falling, and they might just go for core here. I mean, this is just looking fantastic for the red team. Absolutely great performance by Oxygen Esport. Bit of a Hail Mary move by Granit Gaming as they went for the boss. Lunara goes down. That's the end. That is a 2-0 victory for Oxygen Esports in the best of 2 series. Nicely done. GG and well played.